What's up, guys? So, again, it's been about 2 weeks since I posted on this channel, and that's because I am still in the middle of this awful, awful mood. It feels like nothing's gone right. Oh, and it's just been miserable. But luckily, I've been taking some of my older atheist-focused videos from this channel and posting them to my new channel, The Dusty Skeptic, which is an ode to his dark materials, obviously. So if you could, please subscribe to that channel. I have like 6 followers right now, so head on over and subscribe to The Dusty Skeptic. Roll that intro. So here I am. What have I been reading? What have I been up to? So you saw in the last video that I kind of caught myself up with my reading goal. And since then, I've read a few books. I read Lying by Sam Harris, which was a little bit of a sort of like brain blowing thing because his argument in that book is that you should never ever lie. And most of you know this if you've been following me for a while. I don't lie. I've actually been trying to get better at making kind of like white lies. Like if people ask me, oh, did you really like this book? Like someone whose book, I don't know. I've gotten shit, we'll just put it that way, for being brutally honest about self-published books. A lot of the YouTubers don't like that. They call me cruel and derisive and a bad person because I tell the truth, and many people in the booktube community don't. They do not judge self-published books, and they've admitted it now since like last year when the indie booktube tag ran around. They acknowledge that they don't judge them equally, and I've actually had self-published authors come to me saying I'm scared to send my book to a certain group. And so I've actually been trying to get better at softening the blows, I guess, and not being totally honest, which is a little bit different than a lie, I guess. Like Sam Harris uses this analogy where his friend, they were sitting by a pool and he asks if like he looks fat, and Sam's response is, well, I don't think anybody would call you fat, but if I were you, I'd want to lose like 25 pounds, and his friend has lost weight since then. So he didn't give him a yes or no answer. I guess he kind of did. But yeah, so um, verbiage I'm going to have to kind of work on because never lying has gotten me in a lot of trouble. But I guess not lying is a little different than keeping your opinion to yourself. I don't know. So his argument for not lying was pretty good. So props to you, Sam Harris. I also read White Sands by Brandon Sanderson, 2 of the comic books. And I really, really want him to release them as stories instead of comics because the sand magic is just so, so cool. They manipulate the sand, and I do find it a little bit eek the way the Darksiders, they dress the same as Antebellum South, and they're black. So they're dressed in like 1840s era styles of the aristocracy, but they're black, and that just sort of gives me the ick. So I'm going to go to Goodreads real quick and see what else I read. Okay, so I also read Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, and this book would have been so much better if it was a one-act play. It's about a kid who is on his way down in an elevator. It's written in verse, and each floor is a different chapter. A different person who has passed away from his past gets in with him, and he learns things, and they talk about him, you know, are you on his way to go kill his brother? And it had an ambiguous ending, which I knew it would. 3.5 stars. It was okay. It needs to be a one-act play. And then I read a very short introduction to medieval literature. That one was a little bit harder to get into than late antiquity. But it was kind of nice to sort of see like stuff I had learned about in college be mentioned, so that was kind of cool. And then I read like one of those F in exams books where it's just a bunch of bad test answers, and that made me giggle. But the last book I read, I was actually really impressed. It was Island of the Giant Pokémon, which is book number 2, and I think the 28 book series of the Pokemon chapter books, which was surprising. Of course, at the same time, it was also pretty well written, and I found that at my parents' house, and I must have had that book since like the first grade when the TV show was on. Um, so yeah, what am I reading right now? I'm still reading Gilded Kingdom. I started reading a little bit of the Quran again because I want to see if it's as bad as I remember it being. It is. And I'm working on The Pale Horseman by Bernard Cornwell. So that's what I've been up to. And please, if you would, go ahead, hit that sub button for the Dusty Skeptic. I have 6 videos, I believe, 5 or 6 videos up at the moment. And I hope you enjoy. More of my videos from this channel will be going onto that one soon. So keep reading, keep writing, keep loving words. See you next time.